Boy there.
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that we. I believe that we. I believe that we will. 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 I believe that we will win. 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 Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy sounds like.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hey, I'm kind of losing my voice. I apologize. I've been chanting too hard already. My name's Shannon Adams, for those of you who don't know me. I'm the program director at Ohio Citizen Action. Many of the attendees at the rally today are members of our staff, so first I want to say thank you. Big shout out to our staff at OCA for helping us put this together, making posters, volunteering, building this awesome banner. We also want to thank Backbone Campaign, Eric and Aaliyah, where are you? I don't know where, there's Eric. There's Eric. Backbone Campaign lends direct action support to many different progressive social causes, so we're very thankful. They spent the last couple days in Cleveland and now Columbus getting a good taste of Ohio and our crazy energy policy situation. So that's why we're here today, is back in 2008, Ohio made a good step forward and adopted clean energy standards that made investments in renewables and energy efficiency. And those were working for us, right? Yeah. So during the 5 years they were in place, they saved us over $1 billion. They created green energy jobs. They lowered carbon emissions going into our atmosphere. But in 2014, we became the first state to move backward on clean energy policy when we passed a 2-year freeze. Boo. That ain't right, no. And the freeze is set to expire at the end of this year. But during this lame duck session, there is legislation to extend the freeze or weaken our commitment to a clean energy future in Ohio. So that's why we're here today, to say it's time to move on with the freeze. It's time to invest in clean energy in our state and move our state forward to the green energy economy we deserve. Yeah. So we're also joined here today by two very wonderful speakers. So our first speaker is going to be Maria Frederick. She's an OSU student and divestment organizer. And our second speaker is Terry Blanton, who is joining us from Kentucky. She's been a long-time mountaintop removal activist, and she's going to speak to how our dependence on fossil fuels destroys not only our communities, but communities hundreds of miles away from us, and how important that is to keep in mind when we're moving forward in this transition. After the rally, we're gonna have our staff members drop off, I wanna say 20,000 support statements urging Governor Kasich to end the freeze on clean energy standards. Yeah, and what you see up here are these support statements, as well as personal and hand-typed letters that we collect every night going door to door. Since 2015, we've sent in over 7,500 letters into Governor Kasich's office urging him to end this freeze. The other thing is we are going to be walking to Progress, Ohio once the rally concludes for lunch, and then Backbone Campaign is going to lead a 2-hour direct action workshop. So if you're interested in beefing up your skills for actions much like this one, definitely check that out. And the other thing I'm going to say before I hop off here is we are live streaming this event. We had our first live stream last night. Yeah! On Facebook, yeah. So we were across from the Riffe Center projecting 2 messages onto Governor Kasich's office. So the first one said, Kasich, end the freeze. The second one said, clean energy now. So we got some really great shots of that. Make sure you stay tuned on our Facebook and our website for the footage of that. And then we're live streaming the rally today. So make sure you hop on Facebook, go to Ohio Citizen Action's page, and share our live stream from Facebook so your friends can tune in as well. I'm gonna hop off here and go ahead and introduce Maria Fredericks, our first speaker.
Hi. Hey everyone, can you hear me? Awesome. So
Why are we all here? We all know that climate change is real. We all know what's happening in the world. Unfortunately, our legislators, people in power, our school administrators, they don't understand the reality of climate change. They think that it's okay to continue to invest in coal, it's okay to continue to invest in oil, and we know that's not true, right? Right. So we're afraid. This is our future we're talking about. We're afraid about the rising sea levels. We're afraid to lose our coastal cities. We're afraid of the massive extinction that's going on right now. But why won't you take action? Right now, more than ever, our fight is real. We need to continue to fight. The globe is warming, the climate is changing rapidly, and no one's doing anything about it. We must change this. We're the people with the power. People here, they don't have the power. We have the power. We are the collective, the mass action that we are holding. We have the power. That's right. Our clean energy is threatened. And we cannot continue to let our legislators delay action, propose these freezes, continue to have these freezes, and continue to withhold the clean energy the clean future that we want. We cannot continue to let them concede to the climate crisis because we know that this is unacceptable, that the freeze is unacceptable, right? That climate change is unacceptable, that fossil fuel investment is no longer acceptable to us. The people whose future is on the line. Our children's future is on the line. This is us we're talking about. So yeah, as Shannon said, I organized with Ohio State Divestment Movement. We're called Renew OSU, and we're a really new campaign, but we're really excited to keep moving forward. So as students, we know what the cost of climate change is. We know that this is our future. We know that everything that's going on is not right. We know it's unacceptable. And we continue to ask our administration, why do you continue to invest in the climate crisis? Why do you continue to disinvest from our future, disinvest from the future people that are going to come to university, people in Columbus, people around the world? Why do you continue to invest in the poison and the crisis that's going on right now? We know that this can no longer be acceptable. So as students, we know that we have to rise up. As people in Columbus, we have to rise up. As people of Ohio, as global citizens, we need to rise up and claim our power because they're not going to do it for us. We got to do it. That's on us. Right, there you go. Yeah. So I always wondered, how do we fix global warming, climate change? It's a huge issue. I'm a little bean, and in this huge world, how do I fix it? How do I make a change? And so from a young age, I went online, I signed small petitions, I sent some emails, and climate change was still happening, nothing really changed. So, once I got to the OSU, I realized that I have power, and I'm not small, and none of us are small. We're huge. Together, we make a huge collective to stop what's going on, right? We're the people of the planet. We have the power. We're the driving force of change. They can sign policies, they can write laws, but at the end of the day, all the progressive change that has been made in this nation, in this world, has happened because we have organized, because we pushed them to do it. Without us, nothing would be the way it is today, right? Right. We must use our power to stand together, to demand change, because this is what democracy looks like. That's not it. This is democracy. This is democracy. We can't rely on our leaders, on our governor, on our state legislators, our university administrations. We can't rely on our new so-called president to stop climate change, because he's not going to do it. He's electing people that aren't going to do it. The government's not going to do it. We're going to do it. They're not going to stop us. They're not going to tear apart the EPA. They're not going to continue to invest in more coal, oil, jobs, whatever. They're not going to continue. They're not going to take away the Paris Agreement because we're not going to let them do it. We're not going to let them do it. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to grow our numbers. We're going to organize. We're going to demand change because they don't have the power. We have the power. We've always had the power. From the inception of this nation, we have had the power. And that doesn't end. Our future and our children's future is in our hands, This is our fight, and we must continue to push. Like I said, we must continue to fight. This looks like, organizing, mobilizing. We're gonna take investments out from the university. We're gonna take investments out of Columbus. We're gonna continue to create clean energy jobs. Stop the freezing and demand the future that we want. Demand the change that we asked for long ago. That we're gonna continue to demand, because they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. We got this. We can do it, right? Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was great. So next we have Terry Blanton. So Terry is going to speak to our dependence on fossil fuels and how that leads to destruction of communities, particularly with concern to mountaintop removal coal mining. Welcome, Terry.
So of all the signs I could pick, did you see which one I got? Because I know clean coal is a dirty lie. I lived in a community where they moved in a processing plant and did mountaintop removal around my house in the 70s. Our house was flooded and destroyed. Our whole valley was rearranged. The creeks, the rivers, everything was rearranged by flooding in the 70s. But we have to move past this, and right now is a critical time. You know, we hear about coal being in decline in Appalachia, but let me tell you, they're running coal so fast right now, and they're running it without any regulations because everybody's so afraid to stand up against the coal industry because there's so few jobs. So right now, the creeks are running black, the rivers are running black, the people are being blasted out of their houses. It has not slowed down, and it has not stopped. We have to move forward. In Kentucky, it took us 3 years to get a bill passed just to have net metering, where you could create your own energy. 3 years to get it passed, and of course they put a cap on that also as to how much energy you could produce yourself. And we've changed that in Kentucky, but of course with our last administration, we seem to be going backwards just like you are right now. But we must move forward. We must move forward for our children, for our grandchildren. I know what it's like to live in a coal-producing community. I know what it's like to live in a coal-producing family. I had a young brother die at the age of 41 from a mining accident. I watched my father smothered to death from black lung. You know, these are not jobs that give people life. This is jobs that kill people. They either kill you quickly or they kill you slowly. And we have to move forward. And you know, you were talking about energy efficiency. What pulls a person out of poverty any quicker than lowering their utility bills? I mean, when a third or half of your money is actually going to pay your electric bill or to heat your house, that doesn't leave money for anything else. So, you know, weatherization and energy efficiency is number one for us all. I mean, nothing can help people more than that is to make their house more energy efficient and give them more money in their pockets to help them pull themselves out of poverty. I just heard the other day at a meeting I was at that 1.7 million acres of central Appalachia has been mountaintopped and strip mined. 1.7 million acres. Think about that. Appalachia. I mean, we get out and we fight for the rainforest in Brazil, and then you think about Appalachia. I mean, Appalachia is second only to biodiversity in animal and plant species to the rainforest. You know, we have the most diverse hardwood forest in the world, and 1.7 million acres of it destroyed forever. And the thing of it is it can be 25 years after they've built a valley fill, and I don't know if you know what a valley fill is, but let me just explain it to you. You take this building right here, and you take that building right there, and you chop off the top of this building, you chop off the top of that building, and you put it in that street right there, and then they'll have the water come down there, which destroys the natural springs. And so everything that used to be encased in that mountain is now leaching into our water. So all the heavy metals and elements that used to be encased in the mountain is now leaching into our waters. And it's poisonous. And you can go back. It doesn't just stop when the mining company gets their bond back and leaves. You can go back 25 years later, and the elevations are just as high or higher than they were in the beginning. And it's just so damn scary. And then you think about fracking and what they're doing with fracking. You know, we just found out that fracking waste from Ohio and West Virginia was dumped in landfills in Kentucky. You know, they fined them this little fine and said, oh, it's one of the biggest fines ever was. But it was given to some small businesses that really can't pay the fine. And then you think about another issue that we're facing is the fracking waste being barged down the Ohio River. I mean, isn't it time that we move away from fossil fuels and move on to clean energy? You know, and people talk about coal and then they talk about natural gas and they say, well, natural gas is just a bridge fuel to clean energy. You know, changing deck chairs on the Titanic doesn't help. You're still going down. So, I mean, energy efficiency, number one, clean energy, number two. And the young girl here with so much spirit and energy, you know, she's talking about her future. You know, I have children, I have grandchildren. I want them to be able to live in a stable climate. And unfortunately, right now, in the mountains, we're not seeing that stable climate. We've been affected by global climate change for decades because of the destruction of our land and our water and our air. I mean, when you are unable to drink the water that comes out of your faucet, it's very sad. And so many people's water are destroyed. And then they think, well, we're going to bring you municipal water, or people call it city water where I come from. You're still pulling it from the same damn rivers that the pollution is running into. You're just bringing it back in another way. So the one thing I always tell people is you think about everything goes down your faucet, or goes down your drain, usually comes out your faucet. So everything that comes down those streams usually comes out your faucet also. So we must move forward. We must have a clean energy. We must do this for our children. And you know, we think right now, Sarah and Melissa and I were talking about the forest fires that's happening. Kentucky's in one of the worst droughts it's been in decades. It's on fire right now. Eastern Kentuckians cannot even walk outside of their house for the smoke. And you know, this is all a part of the pattern. I mean, it's happening over and over. And we have to stop it now. And to think about going backwards instead of forwards, I mean, come on, Kasich, let's end this. You know, let's end this freeze. Let's you know, because all of these power plants are up and down the Ohio River. You're either getting the smoke and the dust, or I'm getting the smoke and the dust, one or the other. And you know, we think about, you know, when the clean air, and what gets me is, okay, I can preach a little bit. What gets me is when they talk about, you know, when the Clean Air Act happened and they started putting all the scrubbers and stuff on the stacks so the stuff didn't go into the air. Well, where did it go then? It went into the water. So they just moved the contamination from one place to the next. And if you notice, the power plants are always by your rivers. So all of that sludge and everything is breaking into your water, into the rivers, and flowing eventually into your faucets. So we must end this freeze. We must move forward. We gotta think positive and move forward to a positive energy for our youth. I mean, I'm sorry, young'uns, for what we've done to you guys, but just know that I've been fighting as long as you've been alive, and I'll keep on fighting until I can't fight anymore. And we got to stick together. It doesn't matter if I live in Ohio. You know, that Ohio River doesn't change the fact that I'm in Kentucky and you're in Ohio. We're all on this planet together. You know, and I think in Appalachia we've always said, we don't want outsiders coming in here telling us what to do. But the thing of it is, when we talk about global climate change, there is no outsiders. We're all on this planet together. So we all must work together every way we can to make it a bright future for us. Not a future filled with coal muck, not a future filled with sludge, not a future filled with acid rain, but a future with clean energy, with windmills, with solar. Come on, we can do it. Think about the jobs that it would create. You know, the jobs that it would create just building the solar panels, putting them on people's houses. You know, true energy independence is everybody being able to have either a solar panels on their house or a windmill in front of it. That's true energy independence. That's the energy independence we all deserve. So I was only supposed to have about 3 minutes, but I could go on forever. But thank you for inviting me here, and anything I can do to help you, just let me know. And if you want to learn more about what I do, go to ilovemountains.org. It's the Alliance for Appalachia. It's 14 organizations across Central Appalachia that work together on a federal level to bring about change, because we know within our states it's really hard to get anything done, because coal owns Kentucky, unfortunately, and we've worked for decades together to make a change on the federal level. And I just got one more thing to say. So while I was standing over there, I got a call from HBO, and they're doing some little special called Vice or something, and they want to talk to people about how the loss of coal jobs have impacted people, and she said she wanted to think about it and, you know, really talk to people that it's impacted and not go to like the most poverty-stricken house and talk to someone they really want to like talk about how it is. And so the one thing that I told her is, you know, energy efficiency and the work that we do around that has helped the people more than anything. Creating jobs through energy efficiency with people, helping people put solar panels on their homes, and creating a new economy, an economy that works for everyone, not just a few. And unfortunately, you know, as a single mother raising 2 children in the middle of a coal-producing county, and I work for the state of Kentucky, everything in the county it was priced on miners' wages. So, you know, even though I worked 40 hours a week for the state, I still was at the poverty level because everything was so priced up here for the miners. But the miners know. I mean, you can talk to old-timers today and they say that, you know, the coal is gone. We're not going to bring it back. But unfortunately, every election cycle, they're going to resurrect coal and we're going to bring coal back. So I keep waiting for them. I don't know where they're going to get it, Walmart or somewhere. But, you know, once it's gone, and we must move forward. And I'm so happy to be here with you, and we got to holler at Kasich and make him in the freeze and move us forward in the right direction. Thank you. Oh, yeah, clean coal is a dirty lie. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Terry and Maria. That was great. So, I don't have too much to say other than just a reminder, after the rally, we're going to wrap up with another round of chants led by Hallie. Make sure you're nice and loud. After the rally, we're going to head to Progress Ohio's office. We'll have lunch, a photo postcard action, and then a creative tactics training led by Backbone Campaign from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
What democracy